Hurricane Milton damage. You know how we made that video about damage from Hurricane Idalia? But now we're doing Hurricane Milton. This isn't Perry, Florida like last time. This is not Perry, Florida. I'm pretty sure I haven't even made that video public yet. But that video was made over a year ago, so you guys will see the video public soon. We are in Wildwood.
If you want to identify the whereabouts as soon as you can.
Some of the neighbors who lived the closest to the abduction site suspected back then that something was off about the investigation. Some of the reasons they felt that way are striking. Frankly, in some cases, a little strange. Let me tell you about a family called the Claw. They lived on the dead-end road, and their story about how they first encountered the investigators starts out in a kind of odd, kind of dark way. Curtis played me part of the conversation he had with Jerry Klophocky, the father of the family.
As you can see, there's a little bit of fence damage. This is Wildwood, Florida.
Relatives in the Twin Cities. They came back, their car broke down, like half an hour outside of town. They had to get that fixed. They went home, they went to bed. The next day, lots of police cars and media swarming the neighborhood, and their dog got hit by a car. So he had Jerry Klophocky had his neighbor with him, and he described burying the dog in their backyard. And my next door neighbor was with me. It just tilled up my garden, and I thought that's probably a good place to bury the dog. And so I remember one night, we're out there digging this hole, putting my dog in it, and then covering it up. And I told my neighbor, I said, you're my witness. This is my dog down here. Because I was convinced it's a fresh grave, basically, dirt dug up.
The villages, as you can see.
They just had a ton of people doing a search for the woods behind their house. They were within probably 15 feet of my garden, and I was a little surprised that they didn't catch that. And if they missed that, what else did they miss? That's what I thought at the time.
Jerry Klophocky told Curtis the person he should really talk to is his son Adam.
Could you just introduce yourself or say your names so I can make sure?
Let's see if more damage.
Yeah, my name is Adam Klophocky.
And how old are you, Adam?
I am now 41.
Back in 1989, Adam was 14. He was friends with Jacob Wetterling. He would go over to the Wetterling's house for sleepovers, and people in the neighborhood would even talk about how the boys looked alike. Adam said, first of all, there were other weird things that had happened on that dead-end road, including this one thing. It happened about 5 or 6 years before Jacob was kidnapped.
Okay, as you can see, guys, there's even more damage.
Adam and some other kids were playing football out in the yard. It was around dusk.
And somebody kicked the ball over the hedge and ended up along the road down in their hedge. So I remember jumping through the hedge, running across the road to go grab the ball. I grabbed the ball, and as I'm grabbing it, somebody picked me up. I couldn't see or see yesterday. I had my back to them. They had me like in a bear hug or a bear hold or whatever. And the person had glasses. I remember that kind of paragraphy place.
I'm seeing since we are going at 81 miles.
As he's holding me up, he hold me pretty tight. My sister had opened the door and yelled for us that I needed to come in.
Make all your dreams come true.
Said to me, "You're lucky your sister called you."
When it comes to
and he threw me down,
figure out what's
and,
wrong. Is anything but obvious?
and I never saw him.
Adam told Curtis he remembers telling his dad, but they didn't call the police. A few years pass, and then another strange thing happens to Adam.
Yeah, we
on that same dead-end road. In 1989, just a month or two before Jacob was kidnapped.
A couple of months before the abduction, he and his friend Brandon have been walking back from the Tom Thumb.
I was 14 at the time. Brandon was 12. We would go down to the Tom Thumb every night.
Okay, that's more leaves down.
We did that quite a bit that summer, and it was dark. It was after 10 o'clock at night.
And they were chased by a car. down that same road.
The dead-end road, where just a month or two later, a man would grab Jacob and put him in his car.
And so they jump into the ditch.
He was real close, right behind us. So we just hit the ditch, and by then he was like right there.
And they're freaked out, and they run to Brandon's house, which is like 3 doors down from the Klopakis.
The boys ran into Brandon's parents' garage.
So we just went as fast as we could into his garage, and the car pulled into his driveway and then backed up. And then he just put his park and put on his brakes. He just shined it on us.
Then they say they sort of have a staring contest with this car and the guy in the car for what Adam described as a couple minutes.
What?
And then they run inside.
Did they see who the person was in the car?
Yes.
Did they recognize him?
No.
And what did they think this person was doing?
Being creepy.
OCALA.
But anyway, so
what kind of car was it?
it was a blue car.
A blue car?
Yes.
But that's where we're driving. The sky doesn't look like it has a hurricane skies like the other end. This all happened
just
2
any
weeks
blue car.
ago. It's not
My
that
friend's
fixed.
mother had a Pontiac 6000,
We still
and
have
we
a ton
we
of
compared it to that.
dust.
I think we called
Yeah? No, I'm not.
Hey guys, I just want to tell you the sky's blue, but it's a different color blue today than it normally is. It's more of a grayish blue. Some days it's a darker blue.
Okay, look at that.
Today we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 clouds.
Look, there's a McDonald's. Doesn't look like it's insane any hurricane.
Oh, McDonald's.
Hey guys, did you know McDonald's is closing down?
McDonald's is not closing down. Oh, there's a Hardee's. Oh, well, they're okay. Okay, we're about to
that
get
looks
back
similar
onto
to a Pontiac
turns.
6000.
A blue Pontiac 6000. Here's what stopped me short about that. The car that Danny Heinrich was driving the night he kidnapped Jacob was a blue Ford EXP. But that car, that blue Ford, looks a whole lot like a Pontiac 6000. Both are kind of boxy, low to the ground. It would be easy to mistake one car for the other. Adam and his dad say no one came and knocked on their door the night Jacob was
Bro,
kidnapped.
they just abandoned
No one
the truck.
came by
Oh,
that night
another
to ask
one.
if they'd seen anything. No one asked Adam that night if he'd ever seen anyone
Look at
creepy
that
in the
sign
neighborhood.
too.
I remember waking up the next morning. We didn't even know what had happened that night.
Okay, I'm free.
And the dogs
That's
were
not
barking
right.
in my bedroom window.
Oh, it's a
And with
McDonald's.
the police going through our yard and everything like that, that's how I woke up.
Okay, we
Adam
got
said
some
still,
signs
no one
there.
from law enforcement came to him asking if he saw anything. So he asked his dad to drive him to the command center a few days later. And Adam said both he and his friend
Oh,
Brandon
there's some pretty
described the
down
car
power
to investigators. Adam said he told the same story to the FBI a few days later.
The authorities never spoke to me again after the FBI came to our house, and I kind of forgot about it.
He's never asked to look at any pictures or...
I kind of thought that maybe they would press me a little more and maybe, ask me some more questions about it.
That's
Who knows, maybe even try to hit me or something like that.
Abandoned, destroyed
But,
house. There was
I said I'd do anything to help, and they don't have anything to do it.
Don't do that.
Years passed, but Adam couldn't get this story out of his mind. Maybe the guy in the car was the same guy who'd kidnapped Jacob. It certainly seemed similar. Same road, a couple of kids. Adam even looked like Jacob.
Okay, so in 2004, Adam Klopaki takes the day off of work to go talk to the sheriff again. He wants to tell the story again. He doesn't remember it nearly as well. It's 15 years later. But he offers to take them on a drive through the neighborhood. I'll show you where this happened and where we were chased from and the route we would always take to go to the Tom Thumb. And he said that the police did not see, or the sheriff
There's even some more
detective,
trees.
who's the same detective who'd interviewed him 15 years earlier, he didn't seem interested.
Yeah, I remember just leaving out of there just so angry because they weren't listening to anything that I had to
Biggest damage
say.
I've seen
Adam
was
said for a
those,
long time he figured the reason that investigators didn't seem interested was because maybe his details back then weren't great. Maybe his account was totally different from his friend Brandon's. Maybe the whole thing was so vague that it was just useless. But about a year ago, Adam got curious
there's
and
a
asked a sheriff's deputy if he could look at his old statement. That statement he gave to law enforcement as a
part
kid.
of the log
When I
fell
got the transcripts, my jaw dropped because I don't remember being able to identify the guy. That blew me away. But I thought
Some of this
my friend and I had
damage could be
disagreed
from
on the color of the car, and that's why
This damage is probably from Milton.
brought up again, but that wasn't the case. We did agree on the color of the car.
Tomorrow when we
And
start
we did
getting
agree on
into
the,
some of the upper
description
areas,
of
there's
the man,
more. The damage is going to be from
shorter
Milton
hair,
and,
kind of a stocky build.
There's going to be more damage
There were
from,
probably
like,
a few other
Killeen.
details
It
that
could be,
I
like,
don't
rebuilding
remember,
their
but
properties.
we both said that
that's
we
some
could identify him in a
Alright,
line.
Kaden, time for quiet time.
And of course, like then you wonder, cave lineups aren't great, but you do wonder if they had put a bunch of photos in front of these two kids in separate
I'm going to
rooms
end it soon.
in October of
I'm going to end
1989,
it soon.
what they would have said.
Yeah,
Okay,
we'll never
so
know.
we got, like, what if there's some very bad damage when I end it?
And the whole time long, you got two guys a quarter of a mile from the abduction site that could possibly have identified him,
There's a
and
sign with nothing on it now.
were never asked.
If you can't see that, I'm pretty
You know,
sure
like
there's
it
a
totally
sign.
slipped through the cracks. And then now it's too late.
Yeah.
Now it's too late, you know.
And here's the thing.
Anyways, we still have
Adam
more
wasn't the
damage.
first person to tell law enforcement about a creepy man in a blue car.
The wooden
9 months
signs
before
just did
Jacob was
every
kidnapped,
time.
there was another kid in the same county who was walking on a road one night when a man pulled up in a blue car and grabbed him. Next time on In the Dark.
New evidence tonight leads the
Got some more
FBI to
tree
believe
branches.
Jacob Wetterling's kidnapper may have struck before.
How many of these types of psychopathic pedophiles can exist in this
I see some
15
more
to 20 mile
damage over
radius?
there.
I mean,
It's like
was it more than one? Was there
wait, is
something
that the
bigger
entire
going
thing that
on?
fell off? Oh, some of the wood too.
Finding me,
Look at
I'll
that.
find you.
See that? That's some way worse damage.
There was a fear of God that
And
was
the
put
Burger King
into
sign.
all of us, and that worry and that
We've
fear
got
and
some
that
damage from
stress
everything.
it just kind of festered and grew like a sliver. You have a sliver in your finger. If you don't remove the sliver, it festers and it grows and it just infects
There's
the
a
wound.
Nobody's ever asked me a single question about this
left to be
other than you
marked.
guys. I've never been interviewed by police,
Places.
never been talked to by any law enforcement.
Why? There's a giant target, and you can see the reflection. Well, I can see the reflection.
In the Dark is produced by Samara Freemark. Hey, it's Madeline. The best way to support In the Dark is to subscribe to The New Yorker at newyorker.com/dark. When you subscribe, you'll be supporting our show and all the other remarkable reporting that The New Yorker does. Subscribe at New York. If you love iPhone, you'll love Apple Card. It comes with approval.
Anyways, I
Saving
think
time
that's it
for
for
a
the
while.
damage,
You know.
guys. Seems like the end of the
Knocking at your
damage.
door since you lived in the neighborhood, did you ever have to talk to the cops about it, or?
No, they never did.
They never did. Okay. Yeah, I
I'll check
remember
back
just
and
leaving
do
out of there
some
just so
healing.
angry because
I'll come
They
back
weren't
with
listening to
healing
anything
damage tomorrow.
that I had to say.
But
We are here today
for right now,
because of the
we're
perseverance of the
worried about
investigative
Hurricane
team.
Milton.
We got the truth. The Wetterling
So I
family
hope you
can
guys
bring
like
him
that
home.
video. Make sure to like and subscribe. And that was it for Hurricane Milton damage, yeah. So make sure to like and subscribe, and see you guys tomorrow for like hurricane healing. Or like I'll post a Roblox video when I like get to where I'm going to go. So I hope you liked that video. Make sure to like and subscribe. And that's it for Hurricane Milton damage.